what are you going to do with an English degree?
I really want to go into publishing.
What other dying industries do you have your eye on?
I have a few.
Who wants to be a drone? Oh, good. I'll be a drone.
Oh, I've got plenty of buddies who are doing that.
Surprising.
Who are going to make a lot more money than me next year.
The whole idea of this place, when I started this, was nobody else in the room.
Oh.
Like other podcasts, they have people in the room, they have big fucking penis mics in their face. You know, this is not that.
Yeah.
This is like, and by the way, it works. People
Keep it simple?
People just get much more intimate, as they should.
Yeah.
Like, I have no questions. You know, other shows, they're just really just talk show on a different medium. They have cards. Like, I have no agenda. Like, if I went out to a bar with you, would I have like a list of cards
No.
and questions for you? Even though I do have a million questions for you. Are you brother and sister?
No,
I know.
Will was just saying that. He's
Jesus,
like,
I
you guys
get
look
that,
like
yeah.
siblings.
Christ, it's like a Bund meeting. You look like there was this, not that you're part of it, but there was this group called Blue Aryan or something. It was like 20 years ago, maybe 15. It was like this Aryan pop group or something. They were kind of hot, but they were Nazis. So
No.
But,
Let's not bring that back.
no, let's not bring that back. But you got, where do you go to? So you go to where? College?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we both go to UCLA.
Yeah. Graduating this year.
Oh, graduating this year. So
Yeah.
that makes you 22?
22.
I'm 21.
Holy fuck. I mean, it's so fascinating to me. I wanted to do this because, like, you know, the gulf of time when you think about what the world was like when I was 21. I mean, we didn't, of course, no cell phones.
Yeah.
Not even, like, did we have, I don't think we even had we were just getting, like, phone machines where, like, you could leave a message. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
no internet.
different.
It's like, you know, the things that you're native to, I am not.
Completely different. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how my parents are.
How old are they?
My dad is turning 65 this year. And
Oh.
my mom is turning 63.
Oh, so they're my contemporaries.
Yeah.
And do you think they're cool?
No, yeah. I think my
Really?
mom and my dad are both really cool. Yeah.
Your
In their own
brothers.
respective way. Yeah.
And-
No, I'm not. Sorry, mom.
No, they're
sorry,
cool,
Dad.
they're cool, they're
No,
cool.
no. But no, they're you know they just have different. they
I
just
feel like
experience different things.
I feel like your generation actually was much more like my parents and my friends
Really?
than mine was. I mean, I never thought of my parents as my friends. It wasn't just, no, we just didn't do that. Your parents, first of all, we didn't say, I fucking love you every 2 seconds. We, like, maybe like, actually, I don't remember ever, I don't remember ever doing it. But I knew that they did, you know, because, look, I feel like we're part of a club that I would call the Lucky Club, because we have, I assume we have all, my parents were good parents, you had good, so a lot of people don't have good parents.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, like, there was no divorce.
Really?
I know, that blows your mind, right?
Different concept.
Because, like, everybody's divorced now.
Yeah.
But not your parents.
No, mine are together.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you think they're happy?
Yeah, they're fun. We like go clubbing together all the time.
You go clubbing?
Yeah. They came to Ibiza with me this past summer.
That's sick.
It was really fun.
That's just...
We had a good time.
Oh, fuck. How old are your parents?
My parents just turned like 50 this year.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. And they go to Ibiza.
Yep.
Yeah. And
That's
when you, yeah, even this kid thinks it's
No,
wrong.
that's crazy. I met her parents. I met her parents, and yeah.
What?
They like to party.
Is it like that old song, Stacy's Mom?
Oh no.
Oh man,
Do you
no,
know that
I wouldn't go
song?
that far.
Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Stacy's Mama's got
She's
it
got it
going.
going on.
Yeah. And that rings true with you?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Well, funny enough, we actually so with her going to Ibiza, but Eliana and I lived together in Spain for 4 months together.
Live together.
Yeah, her it was 4 of us. It was me, Eliana, her boyfriend Jake. He's one of my best buds, and
so you two
another
are
guy
not-
named Enrique.
No.
who's
You're
also
not
one of our
you're
really
not
good
hitting
friends.
each other in the shore.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I would avoid that because you might have like retarded kids. You could be You could be cousins. You're too alike. Your genes are too much. We should have gotten more diversity on this show. Not that I don't like both of you, but I mean, Jesus Christ.
We were thinking the same thing.
That was definitely a conversation in the car.
It passed through our minds too.
I'm telling you, the people who do the pre-work here, they need a strong talking to.
That was a
in the
conversation that happened on the way
like, "Do you
over
think
here.
they know
what
Right,
we
you're
look
talking
like?"
about.
I was like, I don't
Do you think
know.
they did any background check? Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, I would imagine, like in America, this is what they imagine the kids who go to UCLA look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's true though.
No, I mean it's definitely.
No? I
feel
But
like
I
it's
think
very diverse at
stereotypically, yeah. I mean,
UCLA.
well, my dad went to UCLA Law, and I think he told me multiple times he grew up in Wisconsin, in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. So, what drove him to UCLA, he said, was the weather and the.
So
girls.
your father went to UCLA.
He went to UCLA
He's
Law.
a lawyer.
Yes,
and
but
you're
he
a
was in the
good-looking white kid. You're like the poster boy for privilege.
Oh gosh.
And it's not your fault. That's the difference
I guess so.
between the woke and just old school liberals. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
Can't do anything about it. I am who I am.
didn't
you know?
Yeah, you didn't hurt anybody. I mean, you didn't steal land from the Indians, did you? You personally?
No.
Exactly. And what? Now you're supposed to give it back? Like everybody would rather have a teepee than a Pizza Hut. Is that what you're saying? Is that what the kids on campus? You must have to deal with. You must have to deal with.
I don't know if I've ever heard that argument specifically, but
Well, isn't that what Billie Eilish says?
Oh gosh.
Something like that.
What'd you think of that? Billie Eilish saying there's no illegals on stolen land.
I think it's interesting since she probably has a nice house somewhere on stolen
Well, people
land,
made that.
so
People made that.
I'm not sure.
No, people came out and said that.
Yeah. I don't
In fact, the tribe whose land that I guess it's years ago was on said, well, thank you, Miss Eilish. When can we move? When
That's
can we
funny.
move in?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But you must have to do. I mean, UCLA. Maybe my mind's eye is wrong, but I picture it as like a lot of woke.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like a lot of insufferable woke. And look, I'm a liberal. It's different than these kids have gone way crazy too far.
How would you say? Like, how is it
Way
gone
too
different?
sensitive.
Okay.
Don't you think they're way too
I
sensitive?
think that people can be overly sensitive. Yeah.
in your
In a lot of ways.
generation.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
I think
and-
people take
But I think
things
that people
too
also at the same
seriously
time-
a little bit.
What's that?
I think
Have
sometimes
reasons to be
people
upset.
take things too seriously.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing, I think. And do you ever like curtail what you're gonna say in front of people because you're like, oh boy, I better not say that, even though it's funny and it doesn't make me a bad person, but I don't want to deal with like whatever they could visit upon me if I look like I'm on the whatever.
I think it's more, yes, in person. Yeah, there's definitely that. Like you have to be careful. But I mean, that's
right.
that's running the risk of any conversation anyone has. You don't want to ever say something in the wrong place. But I think where it really is kind of
Not
starting
when
to
I,
become.
not when I was your age.
Well, at least with we've grown.
No,
comfortable
what you've
with.
grown up,
But I
you
think
grew
what
up in a different age, bro.
totally different. But
It's
I think where
different.
it's really like where you see it the most is online. Funny enough, is I think the internet used to be a place where people would just go and say whatever they wanted to and do whatever they wanted because it's not a real thing. But for us, the way that we've interacted with it is like you have to be careful with everything that you put out. It's digital footprint is something that follows you forever, and that's I think something that's really embedded in like everything that we all kind of understand within our generation. Is,
So do you regret being on OnlyFans?
No, the money's been fantastic actually.
Nah, look at him. He went right along with it. Good kid. Did I ask your names?
Ben,
I'm so sorry. I'm such a stoner.
You're good.
Ben.
it's good to meet you.
Eliana.
Eliane?
Yeah, Eliana.
Eliana.
Yeah.
Like Eliana Gonzalez.
Yeah, sure.
You know who that is?
No.
Eliane, you know Eliane Gonzalez?
No, I don't.
He was this Cuban kid who washed up on shore in the year 2000.
Okay.
It was a tragic story. People want to escape Cuba because,
Yeah.
tell the woke assholes on your campus, communism bad. Communism bad. Okay?
Okay.
They got it in their head. They got some bad ideas in their head. and that's one of them. Like, let's give communism another try. Bad. So he was escaping Castro, his mother was, and the mother died, and they like literally went on a raft, or like a rubber tire. Can you imagine 90 miles, wanting to get out of a place so bad? So bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Spago?
No.
No, I'm kidding. No, Spago's great. I'm not saying. I mean, it's fallen off a little, but it's still great. But he washed up on shore, and then there was this giant political fight. It was like the beginning of when we, like, first realized, oh, we're like hopelessly, like, in our teams, you know, in our little ghettos of politics, and because like the Republicans were like, he's a lost puppy, and we found him, and we're keeping him, and you would never send a kid back to Cuba because it's a communist country. And the Democrats were like, well, his father's there. I thought you were the family values people. Shouldn't he be with his father? You know, isn't family more important than whatever political system?
Political asylum or something like that.
And, you know, he went back to Cuba, and I think he's had a fairly normal life for Cuba, but Cuba is a hellhole.
Yeah.
You
One of
know?
I'm a big baseball fan, and I grew up in the South Bay, just down the road. I grew up in Hermosa Beach, and
Oh fuck!
I know.
Like you
I
couldn't,
know.
like
God,
you
I
couldn't
need
get
to add
any
on to
more
that.
Keeps
white.
going.
Like I need to add to it, but I'm just saying, more along the lines, like one of my like,
Jesus
favorite.
Christ, this kid is white.
Oh god, one of my favorite players on
Hermosa
for baseball
Beach.
It's been Yasiel Puig, and he was Cuban.
Oh
Yeah, he
is he
escaped.
still in the league?
No, he's actually back in the Cuban leagues. He had a crazy
He was
story.
so good for a while.
So what happened
he was with the Dodgers, right?
He was, and so
Yeah.
he was fantastic. What happened was, I think he escaped from Cuba. I may be getting the story completely wrong, so maybe, but I'm fairly certain this is about what happened. Escapes from Cuba, and instead of getting to the United States, he ended up couldn't get to the United States from Cuba, goes to Mexico, and then immigrated through Mexico. And then apparently what was happening with him when he was here was that the Mexican cartels, which is, you know, in light of everything happening today, the Mexican cartels were, you know, basically coming after him like, you need to send us money, you need to do us all this, because they got him to the United States. And I know that I read that he had to take like different security routes home. They were coming after him, and eventually they tried to extort him for millions and millions of dollars.
Did you see we took
Eventually
out,
he had to go back home because they were going to get his family.
Did you see and I say we, I think the United States had some helping the Mexican government a little bit in this, but we took out a big cartel leader
Yeah,
the other day.
Jalisco guy.
Did you see that?
Mencho?
Yeah, it's
You did?
crazy. Yeah.
So you get a news feed.
Yes.
I'm just asking. I'm not judging. I'm asking. So that got on your radar.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Because I never know what gets on kids' radar. But it's interesting because, like, I've been to Mexico a few times. I'm not going to say I loved it the most. I'm not a good traveler to begin with. So, like, I'm not saying I don't like Mexico. Mexico's great. I was there for a month once on a movie. It was a little too much in the 80s. Okay. So, and there is a sort of a passive-aggressive hostility sometimes, which I totally understand, you know. I mean, we stole half their country, all the way up to the Oregon border, you know. I mean, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California, these all used to be part of Mexico, you know, before we fought a quote-unquote war for it. You know, people would, you know, some people love Mexico, they swear by it, and I was always like, yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of violence in that country, which there is. And they would say, yeah, but it always stays away from where the people, you know, where us cool California people go. They're not going to go there. The cartels don't fuck with the nice resorts. Yeah. Okay, Jennifer Aniston goes there. They're not going to fuck with it.
Not anymore.
Well,
Puerto Vallarta's on fire.
Puerto Vallarta,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the one I heard as much as any place. Puerto Vallarta, fun town.
That's the college spring break spot.
Spring break
so
sophomore
it
year.
got canceled.
It
like,
is?
yeah.
Spring break sophomore year. That
so
was where we all went.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so old. I think it's Fort Lauderdale still. Is
For some schools.
Well, that's like East Coast. West
Yeah.
Coast is Mexico. You kind of go
Right.
south, and then East Coast you kind
So
of.
that's where
Closer.
spring break is? Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale?
Mexico,
so
Cabo,
everyone's
Puerto
changing all their
Vallarta.
plans right now.
I just canceled. I just canceled mine.
You were going to go to Port.
I wasn't gonna go Puerto Vallarta. I was gonna go Sayulita, a smaller town just a little north. And thank God I didn't buy my flights.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's been on everyone's radar.
But that's what I
nonstop.
always said when people said, well, they never bother the nice places. I was like, until they do. everything is until it isn't. You know? It's like, we didn't have terrorism here until we did.
Yeah.
You know, people said that too. Were you alive for 9/11?
No.
No.
Oh, you missed it. It was awesome. In a terrible,
heard.
in a terrible way. I'm not saying it was a good day. I'm just saying it was not forgettable. I'm just saying, really, so you're the post 9/11.
Post 9/11.
So what do you think of like something like 9/11? It's like something in the history books. Do you have any feel for like how traumatic it was at the moment?
You know,
Your parents talk to you
I
about
really
it?
only know what like I've gotten
What was
conveyed to me from my family mostly. My dad was a colonel in the army.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was stationed with my mom. Actually, they were.
And oddly, he's black. It's just amazing the kid came out this way, but the father is.
But he was with my mom in Germany, and he always told me the story. He watched
was
it. He was
stationed
stationed
there.
in Germany, and he was on the base and watched the first plane hit, and he immediately
Remagen,
went-
that base?
I really couldn't tell you.
Okay.
That detail of the story is always kind of eluded, but
But why?
I don't know.
It's weird.
But
Okay.
He was on the base, and I remember him telling me, you know, he's a colonel in the army, and he watched the first plane hit, and he went, "Oh, this is serious." And they immediately called, you know, everyone, all Americans and all of the associated families and everything who were out. My mom was at a marketplace, I think, and she was in town. And they called everybody back, and then the second plane hits as everyone's coming back in. I remember just hearing stories about how terrifying and scary that was, and you know, I wasn't there to experience it personally, but just hearing it from people in my life about where everyone knows and remembers exactly what was
You
going
got
on
it.
and where they were.
That we were all
Yeah,
freaked out.
You knew exactly where you were. You always remember where you were, and so that's something that's kind of embedded.
And we didn't know when it was ending.
Yeah.
You know, first it was when the first plane hit, people were like, boy, that pilot, what an idiot. I mean, there's a whole big sky, and this motherfucker just finds the one place where there's a tall building. What a dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, we really did, that was what it was. And then when the second one hit, it was like, hey,
Wait a minute.
something's going,
Yeah.
wait a minute, maybe this, and, you know, and then the Pentagon, and although there are
The one that
conspiracy-
crashed in Pennsylvania.
yeah, the one that they stopped,
Yeah.
you know, Americans,
Yeah, that's some
real
heroic
Americans.
stuff right there.
And you're military also?
No, I'm not.
What's your family do?
My mom is from Colombia, but
Colombia.
yeah.
Oh, we got a little ethnicity here.
that's my one.
Colombia, the record club. Oh, damn, I thought it was the
Not
country.
that one. The country.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and then my dad is from California originally, and we live in Utah now.
And
but
they were
I could-
both members of the Beach Boys. Is that correct?
Maybe.
What does your father do?
He's a doctor.
A doctor and a lawyer.
Oh gosh.
Boy, we really found the dregs of society here. Fucking Nepo babies at UCLA.
Oh, we can't Nepo
no,
anymore.
you're not Nepo babies. We don't know what the fuck you are. No. You go to college with any Nepo babies?
A couple, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, a couple.
Who? Who's the Nepo?
Come
Come
you know
on.
what? I mean, I
Ben,
don't know if I'm at liberty to name names.
Don't fucking pussy out, Ben.
All right. I mean, I know
that
kids
Snoop
whose
Dogg?
dads are.
Snoop Dogg's grandson.
Well,
Who?
he's a cool guy.
Who?
Snoop Dogg's grandson.
Snoop Dogg. Awesome.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg's grandson.
Something like that, I think.
I think
think,
that's the story.
yeah.
But I know kids whose dads are. A couple of them are MDs at I think one of them's an MD at J.P. Morgan. Another one's an MD at
What's an MD? Doctor?
managing director.
Managing
Big
director.
IB, like in finance, high finance.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
not really a Nepo baby.
No, that's pretty as Nepo as
Well,
it gets these days.
you're right. In the financial industry, it
Which is a lot of
Right.
well, at least
No,
my friends, I'm
look,
sure.
I've always, incurred the wrath of the far left because I say, let's live in the year we're living in.
Yeah.
We're not living in the era of, this is an irredeemably racist country anymore, and we're not. But it's not like there isn't still a lot of white privilegey, old boy network. And it's not because people are racist, it's because it's my kid, okay? I'm going to try to get him into this place. And, you know, and these are the people I know who I hang out with, you know, and that's just going to have to take care of itself through history somewhat. I'm all for many remedial things we've done racially, and in the future, I'm open to all of them. But, you know, some of it is just because of that. It's just human nature.
Yeah.
People know who the people they know. And
It's networking. It's really,
yeah,
it's
but
really
I mean,
what it is.
But we have actually, you know, compared to the rest of the world, a very successful multiracial society. We generally do get along. I mean, certainly on campus, I can't imagine that there's anything less cool on campus than to be a racist.
Oh yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be allowed.
I mean, if you ever wanna like take time out of your day to go experience this, just take a, you know, Tuesday afternoon, go walk up Bruin Walk at UCLA, right past Ackerman. You're gonna get stopped by about 50 people, flyers. There's anti-religion signs. There's protest
anything.
ice signs. There's just about every walk of life is on that, you know,
Oh, and they-
100-yard thing, and they'll get in your face about it.
And
Totally.
they accost you when
Well,
you
no, I
walk
wouldn't
in.
say a cost. That's a strong word.
Well,
I would say-
you said pamphlets, or you
well,
said they give
I
you.
mean more like they want
They're
to they
promoting
want to
their
take a moment of your time, but
Right.
they won't have a problem getting in front of your face to take a moment of your time.
I
You know
get,
what I mean?
I
Like,
get exactly
like,
what you mean.
But if you give them
I'll stand right in your face.
I
with
get
the face.
exactly
you have
what
two
you-
options with that though. You can either go
Right.
oh, I'm sorry, I don't have to, or you just give them a really weird look, and then they're gone, and it's great.
No, you know what you do? You know what you do? Whenever they give you the pamphlet or whatever they're saying with their cause, you go, I wrote this. I'm the one who gave these out to you to give out to others people. Are you kidding you? Yeah. Lie. Always best to lie.
We'll try that.
Kids, if I could leave you with one impression, lie. It's
Okay.
it sometimes is
right.
necessary, and you know, if people are lying to you, you have the right to lie back to them.
Okay.
That would be my.
Any other advice?
What would you like to know?
I don't
I mean,
know.
what do you think that I know with my added 50 years of life that could, because I'm always about mentoring.
Okay.
I do enjoy that. You know, I never had kids. Thank Christ. Now, do you want kids?
We'll see.
We'll see.
I think I do.
I don't know yet.
You think you do?
Yeah, I think I like it.
It's a natural human proclivity.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a small percentage, and it's not that small anymore, of people who have no interest. I would say, I don't know, but it's a minority. Most people, it's just a natural human thing. But, you know, most people are not gay either. And that's perfectly natural also. You know, so I don't think I'm myself as a weirdo. And, you know, when I was first talking about being single and it not being seen as weird back in the 90s on my first show, Politically Incorrect, it was a little more weird. And now I think it's very mainstream for people to understand that it's just, there's no moral dimension to it. It's just your preference.
Yeah.
Either some people like kids and want kids, and I have no patience for people, usually on the far left, who condemn women who just want to be a homemaker or a mother. That's feminism too. If that's your choice, that's what feminism means. And some women make that choice. And it is hard to have both a career and properly take care of kids.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, but you want a career first.
Hopefully. I'd hope so. I don't know. I'm very go with the flow. And so whatever happens, happens kind of person. So we'll just see one step at a time, kind of focusing on graduating right now.
Don't let either side intimidate you.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a career. You don't have to be a mother. You know, I mean, I'm not so sure about this. Just let the tide take me where it takes me. Philosophy of life. I don't think I could completely endorse that. I mean, you might want to have a little plan.
I have some structure. Don't
Okay.
worry.
All right. And when do you get out of college?
We graduate in June.
June.
Oh, wow. Coming
Yeah,
up.
Coming up.
June. Well, then you know what happens after that? Freshman year of life. That's.
Yeah.
I remember that one very well. That's a little bit of a slap to the nuts.
I bet.
Because you're so used to being in this structured guardianship your whole life. You have a structure that is provided for you by the older people, you know, the school, basically. And now you're like, oh, my schedule is mine. There's no syllabus here, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe you'll go right into, do you have something lined up?
Working on it. Yeah, that's the truthfully honest
It
answer
goes
about
back
it.
to the Nepo
No,
thing.
I
It's
was-
really hard. It is
Job
like
market
way
is
harder
a
than-
lot.
It's
It's a
what?
lot tougher
It's
than
really hard right now.
What is?
the
Getting
job.
a job.
Just trying
I'm
to-
sure it
trying to
is.
Getting your
find
name
something
through the door and
Because
again,
AI,
with Nepo babies
Well,
and
it's
that and
it's
everything.
well, also AI is
Yes.
taking a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and both of us are more creative
Unfortunately.
people,
Yeah,
so that doesn't help.
We're both going
either.
into more creative fields, which
Yeah.
is hopefully
And that's the other
better
thing is everybody wants to go into the creative fields.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a drone? Who's like,
Yeah.
oh, good, I'll be a drone.
Oh, I've got plenty of buddies who are doing that.
Surprisingly,
Who are going to make a
They're
lot
all
more
at
money than me
UCLA.
next year.
You really think so?
Oh, I know
because
so.
AI's taking the drone job.
No, I
too.
understand that. A lot of my buddies are.
Like, what are your buddies getting into?
A lot of my friends are doing investment banking, New York, San Francisco,
okay.
Los Angeles, consulting, same areas. So these guys are going into, you know, these really high performance areas where they're going to have to compete and do really well, but they're going to be compensated for it. But for them, I mean, those
There's
jobs,
more
I
of a
mean,
path.
luckily for us, I feel like we're kind of on the edge of this kind of generation where for us, we're getting in these last set of entry-level jobs. 10 years from now, those jobs are gone. At least from what
I think
I've read a couple of things from Wall
That's a
Street Journal.
generous assessment. 10 years.
10 years?
Try
You think it's
two.
less?
I think AI moves exponentially.
I read a bunch of stuff. They're going to be gone. These entry level jobs that people 20 years ago. Everyone leaves college, gets a job. Boom. Oh, you have a job out of college, great. Now we're all I'm struggling to find a job, but it's still there.
Right.
You're right. 2, maybe 5 at the most. And these jobs are non-existent, and that's the problem with everything that's going on here. Is it's not that we don't have like a work ethic, which is something I hear a lot about Gen Z. It's like, especially our generation, like, oh, you just need to work harder. It's like, no, like I worked my ass off every single day to
You think
get
so?
to where I am. Yeah. I worked my ass off to get to UCLA.
Doing what? Like studying?
Well, that's a part of it, but I'm just saying, like, I've busted my ass in a lot of different places and a lot of different things in my life. To getting into college was
I'm just
was
asking,
impossible.
busting your ass doing what? I'm not doubting it. I'm just asking.
No, that's totally fair. No, I mean, college admissions for us. Okay, our freshman year, or the year
yeah.
we
Oh, I
applied to
remember.
college,
Even when I did it.
150,000 applicants to UCLA, the
remember-
most in history to any school.
I just know what I read, and it just seems like a lot of colleges are out of control with like forgetting what their main job is to teach you things. I mean, kids come out of high school. I mean, I've talked to kids right out of high school. I had the Haktua girl here.
How was that?
Well, I think she's typical. I don't think she's stupider than anybody else. I just think you can walk out of a high school in a lot of the country and not know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I asked some very basic questions, like how many people are on Earth? Like, wouldn't you think like a ballpark? Do you know the answer to
7
that?
billion?
It's like 8 now, a little bit more than 8.
Okay, but see, you kids, from your privileged home, you know this, and that's right. But I gave her a multiple choice. Like, is it 800, 8 trillion? And it's like, it could have been, it could, she's like, it could have, I'm telling you, she's not untypical.
Yeah.
Like, they will let you out of high school, they just don't care.
Yeah.
And, I told her the answer, 8 trillion people.
There you go.
She said 800.
She was closer to 800,000. I don't know what it was, but it was just
Yeah,
like not
so.
good. And don't even start with history. I mean, they have no idea. No
none.
idea.
And AI is definitely a part of that for sure, because you can get away with not even doing your homework at all, and that's like kind of scary.
Do you use AI for your homework?
I will say I have, but I don't think I've made it a habit to that, like, I rely on it at all. Like, for me, it's more, I write a lot of essays. I'm an English major, so for me, it's more grammar checking, and, like, sometimes if I'm really stumped, I'll, like, have it help me outline, but nothing on, like, actually.
I was English, and
Oh,
then English and history. I traded one useless degree for another. Not useless for me, because I've used all of that in my life, but my life is not typical. But yeah, having a good education is important. But like, as far as like getting an actual job, if you weren't going to be a comedian and a television person, I mean, I don't know. But what are you going to do with an English degree?
I really want to go into publishing. So hopefully, see how that goes.
Dying industry.
Yeah.
What other dying industries do you have your eye
I
on?
have a few. Unfortunately.
Really?
All my backups
Are dying.
They're all going to.
Yeah,
going away.
everything is.
Yeah.
It's oh,
Yeah.
poor kids. Do you ski?
I do.
Okay, then right away my sympathy level just went halfway down. You ski?
Like on snow, yes.
Right. What'd you think? Where else would you ski?
Indoor skiing.
I was thinking something else.
Yeah.
What's indoor skiing? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, they do that in a lot of all over Europe. They got that in Denmark. They had this. I lived in in Copenhagen for a couple months before I went to Spain, and we eventually did our program there. But they have this like huge factory that used to be like this big coal factory, and as part of like a renewable energy thing, they turned the coal factory into a ginormous like indoor skiing lodge. Wow. So that's fun fact.
So
I don't know what useful information that is.
Why were you? This is a program where you were in Denmark?
Yeah, I did 2 study abroad programs.
Why Denmark?
Denmark was, a part of the location I thought would have been really amazing. The culture's great and it's beautiful and it's an awesome part of the world, but...
You look like you fit in.
Oh, trust me, I did. I'd walk into shops and they'd all look at me and they'd speak the native language and then just... and then they look at me again and they go, oh,
plainly he is one of us.
Yeah, but no, I did it mostly to... I was supposed to originally go with a couple friends, and the friends backed out pretty early on into the process, where I could have also backed out. But I really wanted to do something for me. I wanted to go see the world on my own merit and like really see what I could be, do on my own. So I went to Denmark by myself.
Copenhagen.
Copenhagen. So I went to Copenhagen by myself and made some really amazing friends there.
Of course.
Which was awesome. My buddy Will, who's from Scotland, another friend named Dawood, who's from London, or not London, but from England. I'm actually, but it's cool. I got to go and travel the world by myself, not have no one with me, no one to rely upon, no one to depend on, just me. Just kind of become a little more independent, kind of grow as a person. So that was a big goal for me at least. And then, when we went to Spain, it was us two and two of our friends, Jake and Enrique, and then we all lived together as well.
Were you working when you were there in Denmark?
School, actually. I went to Copenhagen Business School for a term.
So where'd you get money from?
I had saved money, and I also received a scholarship and veteran benefits and stuff.
Veteran?
My dad's a 100% disabled veteran.
Oh, cool.
So.
I mean, not cool. Terrible.
Well,
I didn't mean cool. I mean cool that they give.
good, but,
cool that they give you benefits.
But yeah,
not cool.
If you're a fully enrolled student, you're entitled to certain benefits under certain things, and that's
you disabled from a war that he fought in.
He's fought in Desert Storm.
Desert Storm. Mm-hmm. And what happened?
He was exposed to a rocky nerve gas. Yeah. So. It was used downwind, so it wasn't a lethal dose per se. I think it was about 100 miles downwind. But there's a whole classic group of guys out there.
Like Agent Orange.
Yeah. They got a whole group of guys out there that got hit by this thing, and it's been devastating to an entire generation of guys out there.
It absolutely is.
My dad is one among them, so it's
very underreported.
Something underreported. They don't talk about it. They don't want to talk about it.
No, they don't. I mean,
it's really disrespectful in my opinion.
It is. I mean, when they talk about wounded warriors, of course there are wounded warriors, and too many of them. But they usually show people at the VA with no limbs. Or missing limbs, or in wheelchairs. It is also the gas. You're correctly like. Chemical warfare. Yeah. That was
it's terrible stuff. So.
Well, tell your father thank you for his service.
I will.
And
he definitely is he's definitely a hero of mine. Yeah. So.
He should be.
Yeah, he's a incredible guy. So.
That's great.
But. So through that, I was able to, I've been able to go to UCLA. I've been able to, go and do some things that he would never have been able to.
So Denmark, then Spain. I would imagine Spain was more of a party town.
We're in Barcelona, so even more so.
Is that like party town?
24/7,
It was
365. You could go out every day
They
of the
changed
week, all
our-
day. You
we-
could never go home. You could just live outside, and like people would be okay with it.
We had classes there, so they changed our schedule so that classes started later than 5 p.m. because they knew people would be partying into the early hours of the day.
Yeah.
So all of our
I think my
classes
earliest
were,
class was at
rearranged.
3:00 in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
It was crazy.
My professor,
You have got to be
the coolest guy I've
fucking-
ever met. The coolest guy I've
You've
ever
got
met.
to be fucking with me.
This
No,
is
I'm
a
not.
University of
They-
This was it. No, this is
They-
the University of
they
Barcelona, the number one
organized-
school in Spain.
They organized your class schedule around.
It's their
the-
culture.
They wanted us to
It's a
go out and do
Spanish
it. I'm not kidding. This is my professor, coolest guy I've ever met. One of them at least. He said at the first day of class, he was like, in America, if I were to go to my professor and be like, you want to go get a beer after class? My professor, no, that's like conflict of interest or whatever they want, excuse they make. They'll never do it. This guy, first day of class, I'm going across the street to the bar across the street. Anyone who wants to come grab a beer with me, come grab a beer with me. Let's go. Half the class showed up. We got beers for like 2 hours, chatted with this guy. This guy was my professor. I mean, he graded all my exams. Like, he was more like a friend than he was my professor. But I had a great time. I learned a lot.
He
which
was probably
awesome.
trying to fuck the co-eds. Am I wrong or am I wrong?
Who knows?
Come on, professors, they're a dirty bunch. They're a dirty bunch. It's just a scam to get with the co-eds, the hot
no.
co-ed. Come on, tell me you haven't been hit on by some professor or two.
No comment.
You don't have to name names, but I mean, I think they're a bunch of dirty birds. I do. That's my thought about professors. Dirty birds, male professors. They're not in it for the academia. No, they are. But I mean, come on, this shit goes on.
Well, I'm sure.
It's a cheap way. Before I run out of time here, I just want to ask you about your thoughts about the political landscape. It was the State of the Union address last night. Did you watch it?
Watched it.
You did?
Yeah, I watched it.
Wow. Now, I don't think that's
I did not.
typical of the younger generation. I would guess that if you ask the Nepo baby trust fund assholes who populate the parties in this town, they wouldn't even know what happened last night, let alone watched it. So what did you think? Where's your politics lie?
I think that I'm someone who I've grown up in a household and also just, people in my life that I have family that's on, this side and I have family that's on this side.
You
people
do?
in my lives on both.
Really?
Yeah, totally. And I have, people who believe very, very opposite things. And from my personal view, I think that there are idiots on both sides. I think that there are some of the
You are
dumbest people I've
correct.
ever seen on this side and some of the dumbest people I've ever seen on this side. So I think, for me at least, I like to sit just about right here in the middle, and I like to look at things from
Well,
a
you are
standpoint.
definitely a Bill Maher fan, if not now, in the future. This is
I look
where,
at
this
things
is
from
where
a
I
central-
live.
I look at things from the middle. I don't
Right.
like to. I really dislike people that, because they identify as this, that this is all evil, or because they're
Correct.
with this is all evil, or like, oh, I'm liberal, so you're Republican, you're a terrible person. I think that is just, it's super disingenuous. It's super stupid. It's just a lack of like empathy.
I
and a
was
lack of a lot
expecting
of
to have
different
to
things.
argue more, and I'm very disappointed.
Oh, no.
I was looking forward to going off on the kids for being so stupid, and you've disappointed me, and they're not stupid at all.
Thank you. We'll take it.
Is that what you would also say?
I do agree. I also think that everything is just so extreme and in your face right now, especially for us, like social media. It is like
Oh.
constantly in your face, like one view versus another, and like just very combative against each other for sure.
Do you ever
which
think
is-
getting off of it? Just getting-
Actually, yeah. So
Every day.
Really? Every day you think
Yeah. The amount
It's
of
a big
time-
movement.
The amount of
Lots of
times
people
I
are
have
doing-
deleted like a certain social media app and just like let it go, and then like 2 weeks later I'm like,
Yeah.
I wonder what this person's up to, and then I re-download it, and it's an endless cycle. But yes, I can't tell you the amount of times I found myself just sitting there going, God, I'd be so much better off if I just, because the thing is, you go and you start looking at one thing, right? and then you're looking at this one thing, and then you start getting a little distracted, and before you know it, it's
You're on a
2
rabbit
hours
hole.
later, and you
Yeah.
haven't, you haven't done anything.
It's
and
a
you're
drug.
it's a rabbit hole, and it's ridiculous.
No, I mean
definitely.
there's a book now and a movement.
No, it's an
It's an addiction.
It is an addiction.
It's addiction. It's a drug, and don't do drugs, kids. Do you no?
Yeah, we've got futures ahead of us. It's a dangerous line of questioning here.
I think it's great that you're abstaining. I don't know what you do, but I've earned this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
I've earned
100%.
it, and it's a personal thing. It's legal now, first of all, just like liquor. Look, I'm not going to lie. The more you can just use your natural resources, the better. But I mean, there was a group in the '60s called the Doors, and they were named after this book, The Doors of Perception, by Aldous Huxley, and that's what he said drugs were. They were a door to perception. So, you can use them for good. People go to wherever they go and do ayahuasca, as everyone does it would say, something that does open you up to, is it always spiritual? Is that really the word we want to always ascribe to it? I don't know. But certainly it is self-exploratory.
And
Certainly it is about going and, I'm not going to do it. I don't need to go there.
yeah.
I don't need to look under the hood. I mean, at this point, whatever's under there is not going anywhere anyway. You know what? And I'm not unhappy. I don't do any other drugs. I mean, I'm a lightweight. I'm not. I'm just a cocktail party. Just a guy getting along.
There you go.
But I get it. I admire it. I admire the inclination to want to self-discover, to want to go, oh, what am I really, is a level here that even I'm not seeing in myself, because it's easy to not see yourself.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror every day, do you really see yourself?
Yeah.
Are you on dating apps?
No.
No, because you have a boyfriend.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. What
I
about?
have a girlfriend.
Oh,
someone I
so
care
no,
about.
no dating apps.
No dating apps, no.
Boy, I must say the with your generation and the way you can be digitally tracked with everything, I would hate to try to be a cheater.
Yeah, it'd be horrible.
Right?
You have to try really hard now, I feel like.
Really hard.
Yeah.
You got to be like with the NSA to be able to, right?
Like
Yeah,
Snowden,
well, we have
basically.
every single
Snowden, right.
person's
Yeah, you got to be
information.
Snowden to get away with that.
So you just stay off it. But you certainly don't want to like DM somebody or, I mean, that would just look like.
You can barely even like someone's picture now. There are people will be like, you like so-and-so's picture. Like,
Hey,
that's certain
it's
relationships.
everything is viewable.
But,
It's all
yeah.
it's all out there.
Everything's
so.
tracked. Everything's measured.
There's no privacy. There's zero
That's
privacy.
Location.
Zero privacy.
Everyone knows where everyone is constantly. What
That's
they're doing.
that's not cool.
No,
No, I
there's
think
zero
it's weird.
privacy.
It really is not cool.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody,
too normalized.
even if you're not doing anything wrong,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, I mean, I'm so glad I'm in the generation I'm in. I mean, like, would it be better to obviously have the years ahead of me that you two have? Yes. But, we all are going to get about the same years. I would have, if I could have my choice, I would choose the years I had.
Yeah.
But and this is one of the big reasons. I don't want to be tracked everywhere
Yeah.
and have somebody know where I am all the time and be always looking over my shoulder. If I want to act like a schmuck, I want to do it in
No
the
one's
privacy
gonna
of my own home or bar or Motel 6 or whatever it is. All right. Well, thank you. This was so much
Hey,
fun.
thank you for having me.
I knew it would be. I just feel like there's not enough talking between the generations. There's a lot of carping and a lot of, your generation did this and you took this and we're
No conversation.
we're still all human.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
So
for
nice to
coming
meet
in.
you.
And,
Thank you
yeah,
so
really a
much.
pleasure. All right.
Thank you.
You two get back to the hood.
We will.
Because
Try to be safe on the way back.
yeah, safe back to UCLA.
Club. Random.